प्रसार भारती अभिलेखागार की प्रस्तुति सदाबहार सुनहरे दौर का अनमोल खजाना।
हाथ यूं क्यों पकड़ा? हाथ यूं कर दे। हाँ, ये नीचे पकड़े हुए हैं, ये दिस एंड से, ठीक है। हाँ, ये फॉरेस्ट टूथपेस्ट पूरा। तुम भी थोड़ा झुको इधर। नहीं तुम तो ठीक हो। ये लड़की इधर थोड़ा। हाँ, क्या बात है। 1 2 3 4।
यस, कौन? कमिश्नर? हाँ कहिए। बयान नहीं मिला, यहाँ आज शाम तक आपको मिल जाएगा। और देखिए, मैं इन तीनों बयानों को टेप में रिकॉर्ड करवा कर आपके पास भिजवा रहा हूँ। आप वक्त के मुताबिक उनका इस्तेमाल करें। और हाँ, वो आदमी जो पुल के ऊपर से लापता हो गया था, उसको कुछ पता चला? नहीं पता चला। और फिर भी आप कहते हैं कि स्थिति कंट्रोल में है। अरे खाक कंट्रोल में है। देखिए, मेरे बयान की कल तक मनादी करवा दे और मुझे इसकी बराबर सूचना देते रहे। और तुम ये अब कान खोल कर सुन लो, ये धांधली आगे नहीं चलेगी। नो सर, अभी तो मैं कोई कदम नहीं उठा रहा, लेकिन निकट भविष्य में। यस सर। अब जाओ कमिश्नर के दफ्तर, उन्हें बतला देने की कौन सा बयान कब पढ़ना है। यस सर। आई एम वेरी सॉरी सर। एक्चुअली सर, वो गलती हो जाती है, यू नो सर। हरामखोर, भ्रष्टाचार का पिता। एक्सक्यूज मी सर, आपने मुझसे कुछ? अरे तेरे से कहूं मैं।
You see, I belong to state of Jammu and Kashmir, and I have been doing plays. I think I was in class 5 in the school, and we had one of the finest and one of the great poets of Kashmir, Dinanath Nadim, who recently passed away, was principal of a school. And he used to write lovely operas and musicals for children, and some of them were, unfortunately, I don't have the script of them. I would like to produce them today, and they have become milestones in the opera writing in Kashmir. And when I look back at, he had gone that time to China. In China in 50s must have emerged, and he used to wear that Mao Zedong had given him a coat, that black coat which is there. And he was a big personality for us, and he will spend time with us. And in fact, when we did a play, it was good and the evil kind of a play, Birds, Night and the Owl. That was, and wonderful poems. And Bulgan and Krishna came, we were little kids, and they came to Kashmir and we performed it for them. And it was a big success that time. We performed for 2 years. And from there, in a small city like what I belong to, small town in fact, and any child who can act, so he is sorted out. So anybody who needed a child actor, they will call me. Then there was this group of senior actors, they called Kalaken, there is a theatre group. And I sort of joined them, and they will always tell me you have to act. And so, till I reached college, then I did college plays, started doing on my own. And then you really get to know in the little bit of the city and the state, and is, oh, that boy is doing good job, etc. And then I was offered a scholarship to come to drama school. By the time I had finished my graduation, which was way out from what I was going to do. I was a biology chemistry graduate.
भाषण वो तो लिखलाया पढ़ेगा कौन तेरा बाप? अरे मैं हूँ ना सबका। क्या? अरे मैं नीचे से पढ़ूंगा, तुम ऊपर से बोल दे। ठीक है, खींचो। चौधरी जगन्नाथ, जिंदाबाद। चौधरी जगन्नाथ, जिंदाबाद। चौधरी जगन्नाथ, जिंदाबाद। इस नगरी के नागरिकों भारत माता के सपूतों और मेरे प्यारे हम वतनों, मैं तहे दिल से मशकूर हूँ आपने मुझे ये इज्जत बख्शी। मेरे जीवन का एक ही लक्ष्य है, सेवा और मेवा।
It depended. First, when I started my career, it was definite text, definite direction. I used to come with everything worked out on paper, on my set design, on my movements, everything. I could see my characters, I used to do quite a detailed work at home. And that strange thing happened. I started simultaneously doing theatre workshops also. And where I was doing workshops, I had to unlearn a lot and learn a lot. When I was dealing with the human material from various parts of the country. And what happens there is that you realize that everybody is not trained from drama schools, and their sources of information is very different from sources of information that you may get in the city. And always this was a problem, how do I motivate them to a kind of a character I am doing? So I will be picking up a text at, say, in outside Delhi would be much more different than what text I'll pick up in, say, in Delhi. Also, it had, while doing these kind of interactive workshops, what happened was that lot of fantastic things used to happen. Strange chemistry with actors will develop, and you will start learning that there's a lot this actor has which I don't know. And can I reach to a point where I can take all what he has, which meant all his background, where he has come from there, how I could take that as a resource for my work. And I worked in remote areas in villages of Kashmir, for example, the folk actors, or I worked in a place like Ladakh. And those actors, there is no newspaper, there's no much information technology there, radio, which is a local radio, local problems. They're not exposed to much stuff, not to history, they're illiterate, some of them. Some of them had gone to school, and in the folk area you will see they have great experiences of the lives, of the acting, but they don't know how to put into a kind of a process. So when I used to interact with them or start doing a piece, and I used to really break my head against the wall, what will happen? Which will not happen in play like when I do the repertory or my own group prayog. Because actors were trained, they knew exactly what I'm talking, what terminology I'm talking, what techniques I'm talking. I've talked Brecht, I'll talk Stanislavski, I'll talk Kratarsky, all these things will work out. But what do you do in a situation where this doesn't exist? And it was really a situation of frustration. And what happened, I suddenly realized the best thing is to get to the agricultural cycle of life. All these people know peasantry, most of them work on land, most of them know seasons, and most of them know what is seed, what is plant, and what is tree. And that became my, in fact, I struck one day, I it was in the village. Then I had to explain them how do you almost make a character or a play reach a flower stage, and what is it is the fragrance that will come finally. That is which is you don't see, you only feel, which is that sattvic kind of an taste, it's kind of ras you may say, and they understand it. I'll go back to seed, I'll tell them, look, it's a seed. Do you know what plant is in this tree? What is hidden in this is like a capsule. What is in it? And naturally they knew what they were talking. If it was a seed, they knew. They'll say it will grow within this period of time. I said that's unity, that's your time sequence. And then the form will gradually unfold itself till it reaches a flower stage, and finally it will give a fruit.
लद्दाखी कल्चर, जब तुम कल्चर का मतलब तुम ये नहीं समझना सिर्फ पूजा पाठ है। ये आजकल हिंदुस्तान में एक अजीब चीज़ है पूजा पाठ को कल्चर में। कल्चर का मतलब है तुम्हारा रहन सहन, जिंदगी जो तुम अपने गांव में जीते हो, सुबह शाम से कितना काम करते हो, जितने मौसम बदलते हैं उसमें कैसे जिंदगी जीते हो।
You should not forget that I belong to a state called Kashmir. From my birth, what one has seen is always curfews, army movements, hartals, and political disturbances all the time. And I think that was the first time. And my grandmother used to tell me 1947 we had packed up everything and we were leaving when the raiders had invaded Kashmir from Pakistan side. And also, when you live in a minority there, because there are fears of minority there, and when one has lived in that and still you have to prove yourself that you are also good, you are better. I see in Indian situation for many years what it means to be a minority in other parts of India, the minority here. And I understand their pain, their anguish, their compassion, their worry and their insecurities and dangers and violence. And that worries me very big because quite frankly I've seen lot of this violence and lot of killing, lot of riots with my own eyes from a very little childhood. I remember somebody held my hand and put me through one street to another street. And there in my family, my father was a very political activist of National Conference that time. And there used to be always a political discussion and debate in the house also. And I think those are the time you pick up what is right, what is wrong, what is not good, what is pluralistic, what is secular, what is hypocritically secular, and what it means when a minority loses something, when minority is attacked. And that is a painful thing that I have found all the time in India, in my own country here, and which is a danger to Indian democracy. Because let's not forget, we are just a young democracy. We are 50 years of democracy, we are not more than that. And that's not a great time. And imagine what we have gone through. We have gone through wars, we have gone through assassination, we have gone through terrorism. Bengal, Kashmir, Punjab, South, Andhra Pradesh, everywhere. And it worries me if people who understand a bit of it, who feel for the nation, don't speak out through their work, do not speak through the times they live in. I always say that I am fortunate and unfortunate that I live in the most crucial historical times that India is at present going through. And therefore, it's very difficult to have thick skin. It's very difficult that you keep your eyes closed. It's very difficult you don't listen to the cry of some woman whose son has been shot dead. It's very difficult.
We have walked with the processions because of Sardar Hashmi, because he was a pivotal force for artists in binding them together. In the teachers' processions, when we marched to the boat club. And for 13 years, I have seen his plays. I have watched those plays. Those plays are the plays which are relevant, which question all the time the status quo, communal harmony, national integration. What more you want from a citizen? That this kind of a poet, artist, intellectual, painter, writer, ask you the kind of work he is, the range of work and the potential that man can be hit by a goon and he is to be dead. Is that what happens just outside Delhi, which is only 14 minutes distance from here? Do we expect from this to happen? If it happens to Safdar Hashmi, what is left in this country? What has happened over the years that in North India particularly, the best front-ranking theatre directors or the groups that were there have been put under a tremendous pressure. We don't have our own space to perform. We don't have finances to perform. And if you look at it, what has it mattered to anybody what we did? It means nothing. There has been the people who have harvested the efforts of what we have been doing over the years, going from place to place to create theatre awareness. Somebody else harvested it. The institutions of theatre, for that matter cultural institutions in the country, are today taken over by the people who have nothing to do with the culture of this country. The direction that therefore there's a little bit of a depression, I would say, in the whole activity of the people, what you saw in 17 and 80s, all of us doing. So what has happened, where you will see a lot of gaps in our work of theatre today. And obviously there has been a medium of media invasion as well. With all these constraints, what theatre means to me is basically a space where I can express, I can create, I can experiment, I can innovate, and that space is not there for me now.
Thank you.
I don't do the same kind of style. I don't do the, I've never repeated my style because I hate that. And style evolves on its own.
पटाखा नहीं, साफ गोली चली है।
आज कोई 30 त्योहार का दिन भी नहीं है भाई।
अबे तो इससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? अबे त्योहारों में भी गोली चलती है और दंगों में भी गोली चलती है।
तो जल्दी करो, 1 2 3।
But it's how I execute it, and why I execute it, what way I execute it, determines my style. And you will realize sometimes you see my work, my actor nudges me a bit. He gives a beautiful movement. He does a little bit more. I like it. I know how to keep it to me. Because as I said, it is a pooling of resources.
जिस देश ने सबसे ज्यादा तरक्की की है वहां सबसे ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचार पाया जाता है। ए लाला, ईमानदारी में काम करोगे हाथ कुछ नहीं लगेगा। सरकार को गालियां दोगे, लोगों को उपदेश दोगे, मेरा भारत महान कहोगे, रहोगे वहीं के वहीं। इसलिए भैया पैसे चढ़ाओ, हथेली गरम करो, ऊपर से नीचे तक बस काम चल पड़ेगा, गाड़ी चल पड़ेगी। शाबाश शाबाश।
And also I have moved out of the proscenium. I hate now. Proscenium gets too much heavy on me. I think it's a bloody box which is unnecessary box quite a bit. It should be broken. Its walls should be broken. Proscenium should be broken. We should move out. We should come to more nearer to the audience. We should come more nearer to the spectator. Maybe talk to him directly.
1 2 3 4.
Basically, when you come back, how do you charge your empty space? The vacuum that's there, the air that is there, and the air between actor and the spectator. What is that fragrance you will finally make travel?